All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in this crypto world. My name is Cody, and I will be your host today. I'm joined by Steve, the founder of Earnscape, and welcome to the Earnscape Community AMA. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If you can, just give this a quick shout out on retweet on Twitter if you're joining from there. Uh, be sure to like and subscribe if you're following us on and watching this on YouTube. Steve, how you doing?
I'm tired, but I'm doing good.
Well, that's a good thing, right? Being tired means that you worked hard while you were at ETH Denver, and sounds like you guys made a lot of good connections out there. So
You could say that.
I'm pretty sure you'll be going over that with us a little bit as well. And so, yeah, let's just kind of dive in and go for it. So, do you want to just kind of take the lead and go over the things that you want? I've got some stuff to go over with marketing. I believe we had another couple of people going to be joining us, but we'll see if they end up making it. If not, we'll just skip them and save them for next time.
Yeah, we'll deal with whatever we get, right?
100%.
Yeah. So one of our colleagues is probably not going to be here because think he's basically taking a little short vacation after ETH Denver. Our CTO should be joining, but he might be having some issues getting connected. So we'll see if he manages to jump on board here. But yeah, so obviously I'm Steve. We've been doing these for a couple months now, so hopefully you recognize me and know who I am. I know we changed the time. We had been doing them later. Hopefully this earlier time is better for some people, or at least whomever is here. I know that a lot of our community are in Asia, so hopefully this time is not at like 2 or 3 in the morning for you guys. Just a quick overview, I guess. Yeah, as you heard, ETH Denver was. Oh, Doc is here. Doc, you should join using the speakers link. Hop in. There you are. All right. My audio died.
No, you're still there.
Oh, okay. I hear you. Doc, can you say something?
Something.
There. All right. I hear you too. All right. Well, we'll just keep rolling then. So yeah, I guess you're still in Denver. So I just got back from Denver about a day ago. It was a long trip and very productive one. Made lots of really good connections. We have a new investor partnership that's going to be announced in the coming days. That's awesome. We've got lots of new games that we're starting to talk to as well. I just got introduced to yet another one this morning about 20 minutes ago before this call, thanks to someone that I spoke to in ETH Denver. Lots of additional partnerships. Doc, you met quite a few people at various chains, so happy to let you talk about that a little bit when we get to you, or when we get to that part in the calendar. I guess obviously the biggest thing is our beta is launched. Now, on that, a lot of people who got into the beta program, please report issues in the appropriate channels. Please, this is a beta. Remember, we don't expect it to work perfectly. We know there are problems. We told you all this when you got into it because it is a beta. That's the whole idea. We need people to test it and find the problems on various devices. If you can't do that, just drop out of the beta program. And please don't go and blast every little detail on social media when you find one little thing not working. That is not the appropriate way to report problems that you find in a testing build. We have an in-app function for this. Please report anything you find using that in-app function. But other than that, yes, we're continually improving things. We have, I believe, another build that's going to be released even today that addresses a lot of the issues both in the production build and in the beta build. So everything's continuously improving. The people who are flagged as ambassadors, who if you got approved into the ambassador program, you are now flagged as an ambassador. If you have the beta app, you should have access to the ambassador tasks. However, please note that you cannot get ambassador tasks if you have not linked your social media accounts. So please go to your settings and connect your X, connect your YouTube, connect whatever you choose, and we will start getting tasks to you. Those tasks are linked to your social media accounts, so you have to link them in order to get them. That's the high level overview. Yeah, we've got quite a bit on the horizon, but I guess we can just dive into the agenda here and see what questions we get and answer those as we go along. We're going to try and keep it a little bit shorter today to just a half hour so that we don't take up too much of people's time. And we've all got a lot of follow up to do from this past week. So, yeah, let's keep rolling.
Yeah, so with that being said, Steve brought up a good point. So if you are listening live and do happen to have a question about what happened at ETH Denver or just a question in general, make sure that you drop those in the thread comments below, either on YouTube or on X, and I'll be scanning, looking for those, and I'll bring them up a little bit later in the episode as well. But before we do, let's do you have anything else you want to add, Steve, before we move on to Doc?
Yeah, spamming will get you banned. Don't do it.
Spamming will get you banned. I think that's a universal law or best practice for any platform that you're on.
This
so
is
yeah,
true.
that is definitely true. Yeah, Doc, go for it, my friend. Do you want to give us a little update on what you're doing on the BD side of things?
Thank you for your participation in the beta program. As Steve said, we value your extra time and your consideration that you put in. Just do it right, and it's going to be really beneficial for everybody. So, what we're building here is something very cool, and I'll tell you this much: that during ETH Denver, there were a lot of jaws that dropped. A lot of like the old cartoon when the eyeballs go awooga, like that happened a lot when we were speaking with people. Not only did Steve and I do an absolute whirlwind of networking events, and and the conference itself. So the theme was definitely Earnscape. Everybody loved what we were talking about. We showed them what it was all about. They were amazed. I spoke with there was not a huge presence of games themselves at Earnscape, but there were a lot of representatives from games. There were also a lot of people who are within the industry and work with games as well. All of them were very, very positive to what we were building. As Steve said, I went around during the conference and spoke to quite a few blockchains, and they all loved what we were doing. Of course, our good friends from Warp Chain were here. What? Our good friend Matt from Warp Chain sat down and had a good talk with him as well. So, look, there's a lot of work to do on the tail end of this. Steve and I both have a big, like, 2 weeks cut out for us before we wind up hitting the road again. This time we'll be heading to GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference. That is at the end of this month, where we expect to come out very strong with a lot of new partners, a lot of new support from within the ecosystem, and just a lot of friends. So, look, the road to the big launch and the perfect MVP is long, but the work that Steve and I and Cody and Salik and everybody have been doing here is really starting to pay off. We are nearing a point in time where the momentum is going to pick up a lot. A lot of that happens invisibly. It happens behind the scenes, and but just be aware, or just be reassured that there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes here. And when we really are able to kind of step out into the big spotlight, we're going to have a ton of support, a ton of great games. We're going to grow our community out, and we're going to do what we say we're going to do and help mobile games get some players and earn a little bit of money and have some fun doing it along the way. So I don't think there's anything else from my side, but yeah, thanks for your help, thanks for your support, and for all of our friends in the industry who may be out there watching this update, thank you. We love you. And we appreciate your continued support. And we are here to support you. That's all I got.
No, that was a great update. Speaking of Warp Chain, I'm pretty excited. We're going to be working on a co-hosted space coming up soon with them. So,
oh baby,
that'll be kind of fun to do it.
That'll be fun. I our good friend Uncle Funk from Operation Safe Places on Warp Chain. He does the Daily Funk, and I popped in the other day. They were talking about mobsters and hauling dead bodies out of trunks, burying them in the desert. So I'm sure this co-hosted space is going to be really interesting.
It should be. It should be. I think we're going to talk about the psychology of online users and what makes them tick. So,
oh yeah, that's a good one. No,
Yeah,
it was all relevant to whatever conversation they were having before I got there. But yeah, it's always a fun one with the warp chain guys.
Yeah, we had a lot of really good conversations with the Warp Chain guys while we were in Denver. At one point they just wanted to completely merge. So we'll see what we end up eventually settling down on and what sort of partnership we do. But yeah, I think it's a little too early for us to be basically doing a merger and acquisition deal. But I think that there's definitely a lot of room for collaboration, and they're really big on gaming. We're really big on gaming. We want everybody to enjoy the time that they spend gaming rather than just farm. And nobody really wants that. So yeah, I think we've got a lot of good opportunities that are both coming out of ETH Denver that are already coming up. We've had a lot of already really fortuitous conversations with people that are getting ready for GDC. We're going to meet some of our game studio partners there. Going to have a couple of other large backers who are going to be there that are coming to an event that we're co-sponsoring there. So if you happen to be in the San Francisco Bay Area, drop us a line, and we'd love to see you in person. If you want to come to the event that we're hosting around the event, the big event that is the conference, let us know, because it'd be great to run into you, bump, chat, say hi, grab a coffee, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's good to just kind of call out as well. These conferences, you hear a lot of us, project people that go to these conferences talk about all the fun and all the people we get to meet, but it is a vital key element in getting that project out there. These relationships go far beyond just a phone call, a voice chat kind of thing. It's so much more impactful when you can meet somebody in person and actually get a feel for them, because that's where the real relationships forge, the real partnerships really forge. And I encourage you, if you do ever have an opportunity to go to a crypto conference, just go. Just go. They're so much fun, even for the average user, to just go around and see what's out there. Be able to, rub shoulders with the founders and the main devs and the people kind of repping the program. So yeah, these things are definitely vital that we go to. So good call out on those.
Yeah, like on that, I've been a strong advocate against conference travel for the longest time. I was viewed it as a waste of time, waste of money, waste of resources. It could better be spent building the product and doing general outreach and stuff. I've come around on that, not because I just want to go and party or anything. Yes, there are parties, but it's not that. The more important thing is actually meeting these people that you've been talking to for a long time and that you want to work with and that you are working with. It's a really important relationship development mechanism. So if you have any interest,
I had to drag him out of the nightclub every night. He was the last guy there.
Hey, not every night. But yeah, if you're not out until like late hours, you're probably not doing the thing right.
No,
you want to maximize your use of time.
It was good. Really tired. My voice, you can still probably hear, is.
Oh yeah, I'm like my watch. Before we hopped on here, I was telling Cody, like, I've got this fitness tracker thing, and it's like, you have no energy. You need to sleep. Like, I know.
When I was ready, I serenaded my family though, because I could hit like the low notes now. Singing a lot.
Lots of overuse of our voices this past week.
So I think if once we get a little bit bigger and stuff and we start going to these conferences more regularly, I think that at the conference, we should do a leaderboard competition, specifically for people that are geo fenced into that area. And I think that would be a great way to kind of show off what Earnscape can do.
Yeah, that'd be
So,
really cool. Actually, that's a good
yeah.
idea.
So speaking of that, welcome our
Say that, and
CTO.
Sadiq is like, no.
He's like, son of a gosh, I hate when those
Stop
guys get
adding more.
together.
Yeah, that's an occupational hazard.
No, so go ahead, Sue, and just kind of introduce yourself and kind of give us an update of what you've been working on this past month, because I know there's a lot of people dying to know.
Yeah, of course. So, my name is it's some people call it Salik, some people call it Salik. So I'm fine either ways. With that, I've been associated with Earnscape, and yeah, with the whole idea for more than a couple of years, I guess. Obviously, have been in the development industry. Like I've been doing Python backend development since 2015, I guess. Uh, did work with some really cool conglomerates and ERP systems. Now in blockchain as well, I have been developing NFTs since 2018. Kind of rode the wave a little bit. So yeah, know where how it's been evolving and so on and so forth. Coming to Earnscape, obviously it's very close to my heart, not because um, it's not because of the product, but the people and the hustle that has been actually invested in the product itself. So yeah, with the tech update, so for the past week, obviously streaming in mobile games is one hell of a job. Not because streaming itself is difficult, but streaming on top of something else. So, for example, like what Twitch has done or YouTube live streaming has done. So, streaming is done within the app. What we have achieved so far, 80% achieved, I would say, is streaming by another app that's not even like that's not on top of your screen, yet it streams whatever you have on the screen. So that's called layered streaming. So yeah, that is one of the most difficult parts that a lot of systems out there were not able to do, and thankfully we achieved it to some extent. Obviously, I know that there are people are complaining about it a lot. We are taking all the, I mean, Steve is on the front of it, but at the end of the day, it all boils down to the tech team.
Yeah,
So
just so everybody knows, sorry to interrupt you, Salik, but this is actually extremely innovative and difficult. There's a
yeah,
reason that this hasn't been done before. We've had to invent some new technologies in order to accomplish this and repurpose a
yep,
lot of other existing technologies. So bear with us, guys. Like, we know it's not going to be perfect. We're ironing out the
yeah,
kinks.
yeah, exactly.
AKA
I mean,
patent pending, right?
that's what I've been asking Steve to do.
Yeah, our lawyers are on that.
More work. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We don't have enough work to
that's
do.
the part where that's the part where GPT fails as well. Like whenever if you go and put it in GPT for that,
Write me
we
a
need to
patent
build
application.
but anyway, so yeah, that's what we are trying to perfect now. I believe it's 80% there. It might take so, probably this week to get it even more settled down. And once it's there, then I think we're ready for everybody to start using it as much as they can. And then off on top of that, we have to build in the other stuff that we have in our roadmap, including better KYC, monetization, ads, and so on and so forth. So the next step is the blockchain integration, like the smart contract integration, our whole mechanism with our Earns token, and perfection of streaming alongside building on top of the peripherals that come with streaming, like tipping and subscriptions and ads and so on and so forth. So that's going to be the major focus moving ahead.
Yeah, and just to like put all this into context for anyone who might be listening or watching here, we have a full-time tech team of 4 plus Salik. Now, they have had to build an entirely new streaming technology. They've had to build an entirely new KYC technology. They have had to build multiple versions of our app because we have the Android version and now we have the iOS version, which is currently in review with Apple. They have also had to build all these Web3 functionalities. We have 7. We had 8, but we condensed it down to 7 smart contracts. And every additional chain that we deploy anything on has at least one additional smart contract. This is a lot of work. And our dev team has been killing it. And also at the same time, finding all these little itty bitty bugs that you guys keep reporting and fixing those in the same span of like a week or so. They're moving at lightning speed. And I just want to say that I don't think that there's too many teams out there that could possibly move this fast, especially considering all of the brand new technologies we're having to build from scratch. So, if your little one-off issue doesn't get addressed immediately, please be patient. We will get to it. We just have a lot of really, really big things that we're building at the same time, and we have very limited resources. So bear with us, guys.
Yeah. Let's not forget the ambassador program. Kind of slipped that one in there for you.
Oh, well. I mean, yes, we also built an ambassador program, which uses functions that we also had to build from scratch because, I don't know, a lot of you people that are watching this have probably heard of or used Zeely. One thing that really sucks about Zeely campaigns is none of it's automated. You have to manually verify absolutely everything. And guess what? Our system doesn't require those manual reviews. So it's a lot more scalable, a lot more streamlined because we built it from scratch yet again. That's we know there've been some hiccups with getting people enrolled in the beta program. So just while we're on this topic, and if you're an ambassador, you have to be enrolled in the beta program, please make sure that you use the same email address for your Earnscape account as you use to access the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store if you're on iOS. It's causing a lot of problems because they have to match, and a lot of people have multiple email addresses, and they give us the wrong one, and therefore Google doesn't know that you're supposed to be able to get the beta version. And then when you try to log into the app, since you're on the wrong version, you're told you're on the wrong version. But since you gave us the wrong email address, we can only do so much. So if you do fall into one of these categories of people that's having a little bit of trouble actually getting on the beta version, email us, let us know, use the contact support function. If you open up the app before you even log in, there's that little gold icon down at the bottom in the lower right-hand corner. Tap that, report the issue. We'll do our best to get it fixed as quickly as we can. But, again, remember that we have more epics that we're building, more brand new technologies all at the same time. Then we even have professional development staff on our team. Yeah. So we have a lot to build, and we do our best to get all the little small things addressed because we want you all to be happy and we want you all to have a very seamless and wonderful experience. But, we only have so much time in the day.
Yep. And to kind of add to that as well, we had an astronomical amount of responses of people wanting to get into the ambassador program. So we're doing a slow rollout. So if somebody happens to get it and you're not one of them, just know that if you filled out that form, you're an ambassador. But we're slowly rolling this out just to make sure that we get all the bugs and kinks out, and we'll keep rolling it out. And you'll get notified, I believe, of that. Next time we go, I think we only did like 10% of the people that signed up. So in the next few weeks, we'll be rolling out some more, hopefully, as well. So
I think we ended up at 5% actually, because there were once we got to the 10%, we winnowed it down to people who didn't actually have an Earnscape account because you got to have one. So if you submitted an application and you don't have an Earnscape account, make sure you create one. You're going to have to do it on the production version.
Yep. So just be patient with that as well, as we're kind of rolling through there. If you did happen to get into that 5%, as Steve was talking about, I put out the first real ambassador task the other day, so that should show up. I'm going to be adding a few more here as well. So
making sure that you connected your social media accounts.
Yep.
If you didn't connect your social media accounts, you didn't get the task.
Yep. Sounds good. So maybe what I'll do is I'll sync up with Steve and I'll get all these things that you need to make sure that you've got done. And we'll do a quick blog post on that or something. And I'll fill you guys in on what's happening with the ambassador program. From a marketing standpoint for this past month, it's been great. Twitter, we have over the last 4 weeks, let me just pull up the stats here. Over the last 4 weeks, we've hit over 3.4 million organic impressions, which is huge. We've had roughly about 35.5 thousand engagements, and that is huge. That is really huge. And that is all contributed to you guys. So hats off to you guys on that one. We couldn't have done that. We couldn't have reached those kind of milestones without your help. And our goal is just to keep on going. So keep engaging, keep participating. Anytime you see an Earnscape post, either by us or by somebody else in the community, jump in there and show them some love. That's what it's all about, is just sharing the love out there. So keep that going. The other thing is that if you noticed on Twitter, we announced that we opened a merch store. So now you can go buy some pretty cool, wicked looking shoes, Earnscape shoes. I tried to get Steve and Doc to wear them at the ETH Denver, but they passed me up on that one. They didn't feel like it was appropriate for their attire, I guess.
Those shoes.
Well, what was that? You cut out. Oh, look at those socks. I love
Baby.
them.
Oh, baby.
Those would
Oh,
look.
Cody, I got to talk to you, man, because
love
I
these
got some hot ideas for future merch. I had this brainstorm the other night. We're gonna do some like really cool stuff here.
Awesome. Awesome. We just started out the store. There's a couple of shirts out there. There's a couple of hats, stickers. I think there's speakers. You can grab some headphones, like some earbuds, kind of things. We're just throwing out there just to kind of show you an array of what we can do.
Next one's going to be a life-size poster of me you can hang on your wall too, or above your bed.
Love it. So yeah, if you guys happen to have any recommendations, definitely feel free to throw them out there on Twitter, throw them out there on the Telegram, Discord channels. Hit us up. I'd love to hear what kind of recommendations that you guys want to see as rewards. Eventually we definitely want to make this kind of all integrated in with the Earnscape platform. So, your guys' feedback now is going to help really kind of form that thing down the road for our potential marketplace that we'll be having. Don't know when that'll happen, but it will eventually happen because, myself and Funk will be definitely pushing for it. So that's our store. The other thing you might notice over the last couple of days of this past month is we've got our influencers, our KOLs starting to roll out. So a few of them have already gone out. So if you're on YouTube and you happen to see something about Earnscape, that's definitely part of our whole marketing spin that we're doing to start ramping up for our TGE event happening soon. And trying to get the word out there, trying to get more and more people using the platform. And then also we had, Bit Fighters was last month's campaign for the leaderboard competition. Did really well. I think, how many times did we crash their server, Steve? 6? I think that's... But
I'm not sure.
Zach thanked us a whole lot at ETH Denver when we saw him for that.
Yeah. So kudos to you guys. I mean, when we put it out there, you guys definitely took the challenge and ran with it, and we definitely showed them what we could do. So that's what the whole platform is about, is bringing together gamers and studios and giving you guys a great experience all around. So this month, if you have been living under a rock or had your head in the sand, this month's leaderboard competition is Off-Road Champion. So if you haven't downloaded the game, highly recommend you go do that, because the studio, when we did the one-on-one interview with them, I highly recommend you go watch it. We threw out like small numbers. I think it was only like $25 for first place, $10 or $15 for second, and $5 for third. Well, after we got chatting and the studio wanted to up that. So first place is $500 USD. And I think that came out to 250,000 points. And then second place is 150, which is what, 75,000 or something like that. And then it just kind of goes down from there. So yeah, second place is 150. Actually, I got it right here. I can tell you really quick.
No cheating. You'll get caught.
500, 150, 50, and then we've got 15 and 5. So I feel it's going to be a feeding frenzy for that first place because $500 is $500, right? Buy you a new PS5 or something.
Yeah, just as a note, if we see you playing 24 hours a day every day of the week, we're gonna really look and make sure you're not cheating.
Gonna call the doctor and make sure that you're being fed and you're getting some sleep.
We get that you like the games and that you want to win, but no cheating and don't do anything that risks your life.
Yeah.
I remember a story of, I tell this story a lot when I see some of these statistics. There was this kid in South Korea who played, I think it was World of Warcraft for 3 days straight and stayed up just binging Red Bulls, and he died. Yeah, that didn't go well. So please don't replicate that.
Yeah, please be responsible.
I can't believe we have to say game responsibly. What are we, like selling alcohol or something? Drink responsibly. But yeah, please don't do anything that's really dangerous.
So yeah, I want to send a quick shout out to JGB in the audience. Saw him in the comments there, and he plans on integrating Hyperplay support. Mobile only right now, my friend.
Yeah, my understanding is that Hyperplay only has a desktop client. So
yeah, but
at this time,
but we good. We'll get there.
Looks like we lost Cody.
Cody went to start playing Off-Road Champions.
He decided he wanted to go and win $500.
He has $500.
Just as a note, yeah, like I think $500 and that one reward is more than anyone who has used Earnscape has made so far. So it's a fair amount of cash. Yeah, and yes, PC. We do plan to eventually migrate to PC. Not a migration, but we tend to add PC. We will plan to add PC support. But as I had to tell a lot of people at ETH Denver this week, mobile is where the gamers are. Mobile is where the money is. And if we're just specifically talking about Web3 games, I think a lot of, and I say this a lot in our spaces too, that I think Web3 games are making a huge mistake by focusing so heavily on browser and desktop. I know why they do it, but that's unfortunately, in my opinion, a false premise. And it's a siren song luring people in with the promise of assets in a MetaMask wallet that can be linked, or a Phantom wallet that could be linked to the game and spent. That never happens. So I think that people are making huge mistakes by focusing on desktop and browser. We can fix that, and we can also fix the browser stuff really easily. Desktop only clients, that one's a tougher nut to crack too, because then we have to compete with like Steam. So we're not going to go in the competitor route. If we go through desktop clients, we're going to go in a complementary route where we integrate with some of these existing services. Well, we are at time. We were trying to keep this to about a half hour, and we are basically at that. We did lose Cody, so I don't know if any of us have the ability to even end the stream because he's the host. He just pinged me on his phone and said his power went out. So that's interesting. So hopefully that gets fixed for him. And
JGB, you're good, man.
Yeah,
everybody wants to know that. We're gonna get there.
We're happy to answer questions.
Yeah, we don't want to blow Salik's mind with too many things. We got to do the one thing really good first. And once we get that one thing done really, really good, and we're the best at that, we'll move on to the next one. I think that's the fairest way to put it.
That's being a startup for you. And I try to shield as much from Salik as possible. We get tons of additional feature requests and stuff, and I have to filter them all out. I have a list of things that I haven't told Salik about yet because I don't want that reaction right there.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill
him. So doctor, you should say me that do not do anything that will harm you.
Yeah.
We are going to need a doctor in the house if I show Salik the list of requests.
Yeah. Send Salik and his team lots of coffee his thank yous.
Yeah, and one more question I see here. I would love to basically become our own app store. It's kind of eventually, and I don't want to say it's the ultimate vision, but because it's not, but it's tangential to our ultimate vision. We see Earnscape being the way that most games are eventually discovered because we actually do the custom matching. Would you believe that, and I'm sure you would, but would you believe that the big tech companies don't actually care whether you enjoy the game that you're playing as long as you download it and they make money? Who'd have thought? So yeah, we actually personally identify the games that are going to be good for you and make sure that those are the ones that are put in front of you. And we try to work with the good games rather than just the games with the biggest marketing budgets. So yeah, I think that eventually that will probably be a way that most new games are discovered, at least on mobile, through us.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
On other platforms, we'll just serve as a facilitator.
Yeah, definitely. And Steve knows I've got plans within plans for this thing. So to do some really cool stuff in the future. I don't know, I mean, like, I feel so positive about everything that we're doing. I feel like we're doing it the right way. Steve and Salik and Cody are great team members. They're everybody here has got so much passion, and it's just great to see. And I'm happy to be here. We're happy that you're here, and I don't know. Let's just keep playing some games and having some good times.
I like it. I guess we got like a couple more minutes. If anybody has another question, we'll give you a minute to kind of throw it out there in the comments. Otherwise, I think we can wrap this up since we did lose our host. Thankfully, this isn't a Twitter space, so losing the host doesn't mean you immediately rug. Yeah. But I don't actually know how to officially end this without the host. So
me either. We'll just leave the studio, and I think
we'll probably just have to leave. And
yeah, it'll probably close.
Automatically.
Yeah, I have to go as well because I have 2 children who somehow are being like mouse quiet right now.
I noticed that. That's impressive.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Excuse me. I fed them full of breakfast, so they're sleepy and docile.
Okay, there. Got one more question. Yeah, so we do offer gift cards right now. So if you don't like Web3 payments, you can always take your points and claim a gift card. We are modifying that since everybody's getting a wallet. So everybody will get crypto. Now everybody's going to get crypto. You have no choice. But it's not going to be forced on you to learn blockchain or Web3. So, it's going to be relatively streamlined. You'll just have it. Once you have your Web3 assets, your crypto, your USDC, if what you choose to do with it is on you, we'll still have the ability to buy gift cards, and you'll just buy it with USDC instead of with your points. And we also have a pending integration. I don't want to go into any more details, but we are talking with some partners right now who can enable us to off-ramp that USDC directly into your bank account. So you won't have to go through any hoops if you don't want to buy a debit card or a gift card. You won't have to, if you don't want it on your MetaMask wallet or whatever, or send it to an exchange, you won't have to do that. Just put in your bank account information, and our partner will be able to transfer it directly to your fiat account. For all you dirty fiat lovers. No, never PayPal. Screw PayPal. I have very harsh words for PayPal. I will never use PayPal. Doc knows why. I had to regale him with this story while we were in Denver. But I don't want to publicly trash someone who may support us, so I won't say anything. But yeah, we will never integrate PayPal.
Make it simple. The whole point here is to make things as simple as possible, as accessible as possible, and as familiar as possible to both traditional and Web3 gamers. Like, we don't even, I mean, personally, I don't even like to consider the terminology other than for the fact that except for on the like technical side, we are a rewards app, universal rewards for all gaming, all mobile gaming, and that's all it is. And we're going to make it easy for people to experience that through whatever method they're most comfortable with. And that's really like a core component of everything that we're doing. So we just want to make it easy. And I think that's one of the reasons why people were just, I showed them this. I mean, clearly, technically on the back end, it's not easy. As Steve said, we had to, and I'm sure Salik agrees, we had to build a whole bunch of stuff ourselves. But as on the functionality on the front end. When we showed this app to people at Eat Denver, they were just like, "Huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's easy, right?" They're like, "It's so easy." It's like, why? Why would it be anything else, right? I mean, so that's the whole point of this, is just to allow people to, enjoy themselves, and we don't want to make it complicated. And I legitimately feel that we are building the fabled bridge, between all games and blockchain rewards, and we're going to get a lot of people dipping into this ecosystem, and it's going to be really good. So sorry to cut you off, Steve. I just wanted to add a little flavor onto what you're saying.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot of really supportive feedback, and like, why hasn't this been done before? Well, because everybody's marketing to degens and trying to pump a token, and we're actually doing it right. So, yeah, that's, I guess, probably a good place to end it. I see that
children are restless.
Background.
Yep, we're gonna go to Meow Wolf today.
Oh, fun!
Oh yeah, baby.
Everybody kept asking me if we were going to Meow Wolf. Should have done it, but all right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in, and anybody who's listening to this after the fact, thanks for getting all the way through this. And we will be in touch with another one of these updates at the end of either the end of this month or the beginning of next month. I don't know. It depends on how the schedule falls out. This would have been a week ago, but Eat Denver meant that this would have been kind of impossible. Yeah. So we'll keep you guys
GDC, right? I mean,
I think we'll be back from GDC, because GDC is the 17th to the 21st. And so I guess technically we might have this on the 31st of March. I think I'll not be traveling that day.
I'll be at Craftwork. So, anyway, everybody have a good week.
All right.
Monday, right?
Everybody have a good day.
No, today's Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday.
Days are all time warped.
Have a good rest of your week.
Yep. Well, have a good rest of everything, everyone.
And keep earning.
Yeah. All right. I guess we just have to leave the studio because we don't have the ability to end.
I'm going to do it right about.
Yep. All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye.